If someone gets diagnosed with cancer, and my first thought is, how have I caused that? How have I done that?
I'm 21, but I've had a lot of intrusive thoughts about like, oh, I'm gonna die young.
Stress that it causes, I feel it is almost inexplicable.
I've had every kind of thought you could imagine.
Voice in the back of your head that is telling you that you will kill people.
You can latch onto anything.
You fixated on like the paracetamol and I'd start thinking of like overdose.
I think there are almost no words to cover it.
Almost like two parts of my brain colliding with each other.
I was like, I have to rewire my brain.
Violence, harming other people.
See it as a petrified child.
Fear of being a paedophile, fear of depression, incest.
Intensity.
Disconnected from the world.
I thought I was going to die.
Of distress.
It feels like your brain's playing tricks on you.
Loud, negative voice.
It's been relentless.
Of panic.
Draining.
Intensity.
Of anguish.
Doesn't have any boundaries.
Why is this fair? Why do I have to do this? So my name's Lily and I have been diagnosed with OCD since I was 15, so 10 years ago. But I'd say I've known about it or noticed it since I was about 11. So I'd say it's sort of everywhere, really. It's not just in one specific place. A lot of it is thought-based as well as being sort of compulsion-based as well. If I buy a new pair of earrings and if I wear them and I don't, often I think if I change two things at once, it cancels it out, so then it's safe. But if I say I bought these earrings and I wore them on a day, there wasn't a Monday, because I feel safer wearing new things on a Monday. As if, say, I put these earrings in on a Tuesday and I didn't change anything else, and I felt okay for that day, that's a massive win. I'd call it a terrified child, because I can trace all of this stuff back to when I was like 3, 4. So I think of it actually as an extension of me. She is just absolutely terrified of emotion, safety, what's going to happen. There are a couple of things that I did when I was younger. Like I had this water bottle that I took to school with me, and it was a plastic, it was like a Jack Wills water bottle. And I had to have that water bottle to go to school, and it grew like mould in the top. And I would not stop using it. I would not use a different one, which kind of goes against the whole clean thing. So like you're drinking out of a mouldy water bottle. That's not OCD, is it? Because you'd want everything to be clean. But it is, because I thought people would die if I didn't have the water bottle.
Yeah, you're more afraid of the change than the mould.
Yes, yeah. So I think my mum picked up on the change, the just terror and fear of change, basically. I think the one thing that really, she was like, this needs to stop, was I had a party or like a dance, something to go to. And I was like, Mum, I can't go because I have to polish my room at 4:30 on a Tuesday. Absolutely. And she was like, well, no, just do it later. I was like, no, can't do it. And didn't go because I'd given myself this task in my head. So then she was like, this is an actual issue now that we need to sort out. And we did.
My name is Professor Ros Shafran and I work at UCL. And I'm a patron of OCD UK, and I've researched OCD for 35 years. So for mental health disorders in general, there are diagnostic classificatory systems. And they do differ slightly, but they have the same basic components, which is unwanted intrusive thoughts, images, urges, come into people's minds against their will, they're not volitional, and they often give rise to the compulsive behaviour, and they have to interfere with functioning. What it is it's what people are most frightened of. It would be the worst thing in the world to be a paedophile. So that's the normal obsession, normal intrusive thought that gets stuck.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashton Shepherd, final year university student, and my relation with OCD is I've always had it like throughout my life, like because I can vividly pinpoint moments and times when I was younger, but I never really had any support systems and I didn't really know how to identify it.
My name's Sean Flores. I talk a lot about mental health, neurodiversity and masculinity. And particularly, I have had OCD for probably around 5 to 8 years in silence, I would say. I was struggling before, and now I get the opportunity to talk about my experience to hopefully prevent other people from having to go through that.
I've done a lot of research on the topic and whatnot. For example, even like doing a quiz on like OCD, I've some of the best grades I've ever got. Yeah, like
And passed the exam with 5 colours.
it's a lot of like intensity, a lot of hyperfixating on things that like feel real, but like almost to a point where it feels like your brain's playing tricks on you. Yeah. I've had a lot of intrusive thoughts about death in which I would never tell somebody about it. I'm 21, but I've had a lot of intrusive thoughts about like, oh, I'm gonna die young. In which this is the first time I've openly said that to anybody, because you can't like say that unless you're in a very like specific environment.
I've had every kind of thought you could imagine. Sexual orientation, questioning my sexuality, incest, images, violence. Pedophilia OCD is one of those that people don't talk about, the fear of being a pedophile. Harm is another one, harming other people. Suicide OCD, the fear of depression, the fear of anxiety, even existential OCD, where you excessively question the universe and things that go on. Yeah, it's been relentless actually, and again, OCD can latch onto anything.
If you search OCD online, you'll scroll through thousands of posts. In between the memes and satisfying clips, the condition is often flattened into a personality quirk, an aesthetic, or a joke. But for people like Lily, that version of OCD does not match the reality, and she is determined to use her own platform to change the way we understand it.
People will use it as a throwaway comment, or they'll use it to describe something, and you do just get that all the time. I think it's very helpful to have things on social media which portrays it in its actual sense, and I think the more people that can see that, the better. And I decided I wanted to post the things that I would have found helpful to watch when I was a teenager experiencing mental health issues. And I've had a lot of people actually say that they've shown my videos to their friends and family and have gone, watch this is exactly how I feel, I just don't have the words to explain it. And I think that, for me, has been one of the most positive things that people could have said. Like, obviously not saying it is a superpower, but when you have this voice in the back of your head that is telling you that you will kill people or that people will die as a result of you, you kind of think anyone that some random guy on the internet can comment is actually just not going to touch the sides.
The distress that it causes, I feel it is almost inexplicable unless you've experienced it personally or had someone in your family experience it. It is anxiety, but it's not just, anxiety is such an overused word. I get anxious when I have to do this, or I get anxious before that, or I'm being interviewed so I'm anxious. It is terror, sheer terror. And it's not just terror, for some people it's disgust. Those are difficult constructs to convey in a tweet or on a TikTok.
Coming from an ethnic minority household, it's like, you don't talk about your mental health. Yeah, like, and if you do, it's like, snap out of it, you be a man.
The reality is, people are going to judge you regardless. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot change people's judgments. You can't ask them to not judge you. You're allowed to live in your truth. By doing that, by talking about the more taboo types of OCD, it brings me peace, but also it liberates me from my own story. I think the more I've told my story, the less I become a prisoner to it.
British charity Rethink Mental Illness estimates that 1 to 2 in 100 people in the UK are affected by OCD. But this should be treated as a guide rather than a precise figure, as research from King's College London found many cases go undetected and untreated. This can make it harder for people to get the right support. For some, clinical support is an option.
The NICE guidelines would say CBT with exposure and response prevention and medication and or medication are effective. And that works for many people, but it doesn't work for many people too.
I saw a therapist before I was diagnosed with OCD, and then I believe I had a different therapist off the back of being diagnosed because I had a course of CBT to specifically deal with the OCD. I love it. I go every week now.
CBT, or cognitive behavioural therapy, involves approaches like exposure and response prevention, encouraging people to face their intrusions and resist the compulsions that follow. But for many, this is not an easy task. Fortunately, support for OCD does not begin and end with a therapist's door.
I was having a really bad day, in a very insular, in my head, in my thoughts kind of day. So I just started walking, and then I saw this mushroom and I was like, that is gorgeous. And I just stood there. I was like, this is such a beautiful mushroom. So I took a picture of it. And then I carried on. I was like, oh my God, it's a different type of mushroom. I was like, I'm going to try and look for as many as I can. Anything that you can do to be present and to be out of your head is, I find, the best thing you can do.
Like, I had to just accept the fact that this is OCD. I'm gonna have it pretty much my whole life, but as long as I know how to deal with it, it's never gonna overcome me, do you get? So I think that's very important. Meditation, like I was saying, even just moving your body, changing your environment.
Talk to the people that you love and care about the most. Speak to a GP, and make sure you go to the charities such as OCD Action, OCD UK, International OCD Foundation, No CD. Go to their support groups, talk to people.
Say exactly how you feel without, however much you think you're going to be judged, however fearful you are, however terrifying it feels. Let someone else carry it with you and let them give you comfort.
Yeah, that's everything. Thank you for speaking.
Wow, thank you. That was so fun.
It was quite therapeutic, actually.
I feel healed, actually. That was so cathartic, wasn't it?